Learn to compose your Baroque Suite with suite and dances. Let's continue. Hello musici, welcome to this video. In this video I show you all the contents you can find in this level. Level number 3 of the Baroque path, of the Musicus Practicus Academy Baroque path. So, how to compose a dance, a suite in Baroque style with all its dances. What are the contents of this course? Let's go through it. First of all, this is the third level of the Baroque path, I've already said 300 times. This course teaches you how to compose Baroque style dances and build a complete Baroque suite. In this short introduction here, I'll explain how this course works, what kind of contents you'll find and how to make the most of it. First of all, before passing to the contents, how is this course structured? This course is structured in 10 chapters, each one dedicated entirely on a specific dance. Within each chapter you'll find various types of content, explained below. These are the chapters: Allemande, Sarabande, Menuet, Gavotte, Bourrée, French Courante, Italian Corrente, Passepied, Lour, and then French and Italian Giga, both. Then, these chapters are not arranged in progressive order or difficulty, but according to the following criteria. The first chapter, so the Allemande, is dedicated to the Allemande because in Baroque suites it tends to function more like a prelude than a dance, like the ancient Allemande. It differs quite a bit from the older dance style Allemande, which you can explore further in the historical resources and recommended books. Then I'll tell you about this later. In this first chapter you'll also find key foundational elements like the general cadential plan, which is applicable to all dances. That's why I strongly recommend starting with the Allemande. So in this level you can actually start from any point you prefer, but suggest that at least the Allemande, at least to start from the Allemande. Why? Because there are other things, like in these lessons, composition elements, which are related to any dance of composition. When we build here, this is a very long lesson, as you can see it's 30 minutes, because we build a cadential plan here, which is valid for all dances. That's why. Now, let's go on. Introduction here. So, then, B, second criteria. The next three chapters, Sarabande, Menuet, and Gavotte, share some feature: balance and regular phrasing, typically 8-bar periods of 4+4, each half made of 2+2, so 2+2 and 2+2, at the end 8 bars. And no non-virtuosistic character, each with a mainly calm and structured quality. Easiness, this is the thing. Gallant dances. Because of their regular phrasing and more relaxed character, I recommend studying them after the Allemande. So if you want to do after the Allemande the Menuet or the Sarabande or the Gavotte, that's okay. I strongly recommend that after the Allemande you do the Sarabande, the Menuet, the Gavotte and the Bourrée, then the French Courante, okay, where the phrasing is not at all regular. Then the remaining dances, so from the French Courante, or actually from the Bourrée, because the Bourrée tends to be regular but sometimes has some kind of irregularity. The following dances have more contrast, variety and unpredictability in their phrasing, so you'll be better equipped to handle them after you've worked carefully through the first 4. Finally, the Italian Giga requires a working knowledge of fugue writing, because one kind of Italian giga, we have two kinds of Italian giga A and B. Italian giga A is basically a fugue. So if you are familiar with the fugue composition, you can study that separately. So if you are unfamiliar with fugues composition, you can study that separately. Okay, we don't talk about fugues in this chapter, in this level. Or even we can work with our one-to-one lessons, so you can even book one or more one-to-one lessons, but you know, this is something which is beside suite and dances, just regarding this kind of giga where actually we have a fugue, so you need the knowledge of a fugue, but it's only one aspect of one dance. Now, what kind of content will you find here? In this course you'll find a variety of content, including resources for the musicus. On this page you'll find the PDF resources for each level, so you can approach your studies in the best way as possible. You'll also find a curated playlist featuring performances of the dances we'll be analyzing together. Example, Allemande. Here you have Allemande resources for the musicus. The first stage. Here you can download the PDF, so the original PDF, as you can see in the preview. Then the PDF with notes, so this is the PDF with all the notes. What notes? The notes I'll do in our explanation, then in the analysis, as you can see. Then, what is it? There's something, okay, here. B-flat major Allemande. Here you'll find the B-flat major Allemande we'll compose together. Why? Let's open this in another page. Okay, it's better. Okay, as you can see at the end, now I show you all the other things, we will compose some dances, 2 suites, and so an Allemande in B-flat major. Here it is, with the the compositional table, okay, all the plan, and the final output. The B minor Allemande, as you can see, so another dance, so this is the B-flat major, the B minor Allemande, and then the Allemande template with which you can compose your Allemande. For each dance you have these resources, even the template, so you can print this and compose your Allemande or your dance, and for any dance there is a template. Then performance of the dance analyzed. For example, in our we will analyze 3 Allemandes, and so you click here and a YouTube link opens with the performance of that composition. So you can listen to the entire composition. In the video I'll tell you listen to the composition and then let's analyze it, and then you can continue with the analysis. So you open the video, you watch me explaining the very first things, you listen to the analysis, and then we'll do the analysis together. This for any dance. Let's take another example. Bourrée resources. You have original PDF here, then the PDF with the notes I'm writing during the explanations, the B-flat major Bourrée, one of the Bourrée of our suite. The suite will compose the B minor Bourrée, and then the Bourrée template you can use to compose your Bourrée. Here you put the rhythm at the top, and then the compositional elements, so the rhythm, the compositional pattern of partimento, like here the San Martini Romanesca, and then the final output combining the rhythm with the patterns. But this is something I'll explain you in the lessons about compositions. Then the template and the list of the Bourrée we will analyze. So you have the score of all these Bourrées in the PDF with and without the notes. If for each dance you have the metric scheme, you have all what you need to compose a dance. About this, be sure you have all what you need. The phrasing, and then after the compositional elements, the dances we analyze together. Here you can find the score of all these dances, and to listen them, just click on the playlist. You want to listen Lully? Okay, you click here and a YouTube link, as you can see, opens. Now there is the the advertisement, so this is not Lully, it's not Lully, but no, so let's close it. This way. Now, let's come back to our introduction. Here, resources, compositional elements. Yes. In this type of video lessons, we analyze the rhythmic, technical and compositional elements of each individual dance. These videos serve as a necessary introduction to all the following analysis. Let's do, no, it's okay if we do, yes, now let's open this. As you can see, for example, the saraband starts with compositional elements. It's a lesson where we study, in general, a very long lesson, where we study all the elements of a saraband together, the metric scheme and structure, before passing to the analysis, which is in the next video, in the following videos. Here we even have writing phrasing in the saraband, because I want to show you how to write phrases according to the given rhythms. But this is another thing you'll discover through the path. Then let's do this. So introduction, we can even, you know what, open this in another for this way. Let's see, yes. Perfect. So we can keep it on the right and do half and half. Okay, then analysis. It's nice to talk and make bold claims, but it's even better when they're well-founded. In these analysis videos, we'll explore various dances in search of rhythmic and compositional elements that define the identity of each one. Before analyzing each piece, make sure to listen to the full performance from the playlist available on the resources for the Musicus page, what I showed you before. Historical sources. This course is designed for musici practici, not for musicologists or dusty library dwellers. However, you may have a healthy curiosity to learn more about the historical and musicological aspect of certain dances. On this page, which is, I show you historical sources, on this page you'll find the most important information presented in a clear, summarized format. If you'd like to go deeper, I've recommended 2 key books on dances. You can purchase, links are provided in each stage. Here you can find the 2 books about dances. I think that they are the best you can find if you want to go more in depth beside composition, okay? Because here in this course we focus on composing dances. If you want to learn more about the historical aspect, about the dance, the steps and other things in a broader way, these are 2 books you should have and read, of course, okay? It's not enough to have them and put them on the library. Okay, AI audio podcast. On this page you'll find an engaging podcast. So let's open the page. For example, the saraband, but this is for any dance. An AI audio podcast I made using artificial intelligence, carefully fed with selected sources. So I didn't put randoms. I didn't say write a podcast on that dance. No, I provided the PDFs with information, and then he made a very well done audio podcast. Okay, so you can listen to this 20-30 minutes episode to review, reinforce and consolidate everything you have learned up to that point. It's perfect for listening while driving, traveling, relaxing on the couch after a heavy Sunday lunch, or even during a functional harmony lecture, just to stave off the early onset of cerebral apoptosis it may cause. Then, after the audio podcast here, which is very interesting and very long, you can play it and listen to it, just to review and consolidate what you have learned in the previous parts. There is the composition part. What's happening here? So let's go to composition 1, for example. This is the true climax and highlight of each level, because we pass to the active part, to composition, where we compose 2 dances together for each type and 4 for the jig. You'll follow the full compositional process and then download the template you can use to write your dance. Combining the structural rhythm in the first stuff. Don't worry, I guide you through what that means. So the structural rhythm is something you have studied in the compositional elements. We'll use it now before using the patterns. The compositional patterns in the second stuff, the ones you learned in the partimento method or the ones you already learned by yourself. And finally, creating the full musical output by adding some diminutions and ornaments. Basically the template I showed you before. Let's see if it's still open, this one. The rhythm of the bourrée, one of the possible rhythms of the bourrée, which arrives from the other PDF, the main one, then the patterns and the final output. Yes, no, cantus firmus. Okay, here it is, suite and dances. For each video you'll find, for each stage about lessons, composition, you'll find even this one, which is about the performance. Okay, me playing, in this case, the saraband, I've composed in the video lesson. This is the composition lesson, 20 minutes, where we compose this. I show you the rhythm and then the elements I use to compose that saraband and then it's your turn. You can use the template. Let's do the example of the bourrée. So this is the bourrée. In the compositional element, or better, in the compositional elements, we study the rhythm of the bourrée. The rhythm of the bourrée. No, gavotte. No, bourrée. Compositional elements. Okay. Here. Bourrée. Perfect. Metric scheme of the bourrée. Okay, do you see these at the bottom right? Okay. These are the possible rhythms we can use in the bourrée, the typical rhythmic patterns. These rhythmic patterns, something that we studied here, and as you can see, there may be different combinations and possibilities. Let's open this way here. We'll take one of these rhythmic combinations and we'll put it in our rhythm template. So let's take the template in the resources. Here at the top we'll put the rhythm. After this you put the partimento and compositional patterns. At the end you add ornamentation, diminutions, figurations, and you get the output. Of course, taking care of counterpoint. But I show you, this is something I show you during the course. So, what to do? How to approach all of this? What steps to follow? How to do? Let's see. What's the best order? Start with the Allemande. Chapter 1, it contains essential information you need for all the dances. Then move on to the saraband, the menuet, and the gavotte, in whatever order you prefer. After completing the first 4 dances, continue with the remaining chapters. Finish the final test where you have to identify the 50 dances by their opening incipit, and to receive your certification, compose a complete suite following the guidelines you can find in the certification chapter. The last chapter actually is called certification, where you can compose your dance and your suite and get the Musicus Practicus Suite and Dances certification. Now, what else? I want to show you this, which is the ebook you can download. It's free, just download from my website. You'll find, of course, the link in the description or in this page, where you can see some previews of the dances we will analyze, all what we are going to do together in that course. Allemande, all the lessons you have, here some excerpts, some frames, so you have a better and clear idea of the amazing things we are going to do together. The gavotte, this way, tatak, bourrée, French courant. Take your time to go through this ebook and to read it. Perfect. So this is how this level works. Suite and dances. Recapitulation. You have for each dance, let's take the bourrée, the resources you can download with the PDFs and the playlist to listen to the compositions, to the full analysis. Then composition elements, where we study the composition elements of the dance. Analysis depending on the dances. Bourrée, historical sources, in this case on the bourrée, so historical sources. AI audio podcast, so you can enjoy it while driving or during a functional harmony lesson. Composition 1 and composition 2, where we compose both dances. In the giga, you have just more things, because the giga is, as you can see, a very bigger topic, very bigger chapter, because we have to talk about 3 types of giga: French giga, Italian giga A, Italian giga B, and a lot of analysis, as you can see, and so performance you can listen to. Nice. This is all what you need to know, all what the path you have to follow if you want to compose, to learn to compose dances in Baroque style. And so, want to compose your suite? Join this course and work hard.